Welcome back. You're watching Big Deal, and we are trying to gauge the picking up trends for the deal street for the coming year. Now, Manisha, we were talking about the various aspects, but everything can come to a standstill if there is a valuation mismatch. Now, I speak to a lot of my private equity friends, and they do say that they are now entering into a time where their fund will be required, and overall the sentiment is down. So they are trying to do some value buying. Is that going to be possible? You have a keen eye on some of the big corporates and the expectations from there. Is deal closure going to be a difficult bit?
So, Nisha, I think there was some froth in the market last year, especially in certain sectors such as tech, where valuations were you just had to have a business idea and you could basically go out and raise capital. I think those days are gone. Having said that, as you know, India is a growth market, and valuations typically have tended to be rich, and I don't see that falling off the cliff, because adjusted for growth, valuations look attractive in sectors such as consumer, retail, pharma, etc. So I don't think there is, when you say value buying, is our valuation is going to fall off 50-60%? I don't think so. Public markets are still very much open. You saw the success of an IPO like BKG Foods recently. Even in challenging times like this, India has raised about $6 billion through the IPO market. So the capital markets are willing to pay the valuation. I think some correction will be there from last year in some sectors where there was too much froth. But given the long-term growth trajectory, we're the only country which offers 6 to 7% GDP growth. 400 million Indians, in the urban India looking to buy consumer products. We all know the demographics and the dynamics. So I don't see us falling off the cliff, but I see better deals and better outcomes than last year, which is good. And I see consolidation in the sector with some of the companies which had just raised easy capital, which is good, because I think the big will get bigger, stronger, have better balance sheets, and will be able to sustain growth in the longer term, through which investors will make money.
Right. And Zia, do you concur with that? And do you think that there will be another round of correction when it comes to valuation expectations? How are you seeing this particular space? And are the promoters especially, are they willing to sell their company cheaper?
It's, company by company, the way I see it, because there's so much dry capital and there's a need to deploy. The promoters are correctly having a bid process. The minute you have a bid process, everybody gets into a frenzy. I want to win, I want to win. So although the valuation mismatch exists and has been corrected to some extent, I think the bid process is still enabling the promoters to offer the deal up without thinking that they have completely undersold themselves. So it depends on the sector, it depends on, how many other players there are in this field, it depends on whether you're buying an asset to make it a platform. So I think despite the correction, the valuations show, just from the deal flows that we are seeing, that deals are happening.
All right, deals happening, and yes, good assets getting picked up still aggressively is what the consensus is. But Zia, what about the IPO market? And you did mention earlier that the startup ecosystem will find it difficult for some time on the deal street. What is your view on the IPOs from that particular digital space coming to the market with the kind of lessons that we have learned, first from the IPO last year, and second, from the lock-in periods getting over for the listed companies?
So I'm not so optimistic about the IPO market. I think we'll see much fewer deals. We'll have to see many more quality deals. I think a lot of the deals that have come to the market have started earlier, and I'm not quite sure whether the price discovery for them is the same as the merchant bankers had offered last year. So definitely see a drop in the IPOs. In terms of the fintech and startup world, I think, I don't think it will be a very dry winter. But there, I think valuations will get reset. There, I think the concerns for the existing investors will be that they don't want the embarrassment of down rounds. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
And Manisha, do you think that consolidation by death is also a possibility, or consolidating and merging for survival is going to be one theme that could pick up?
Definitely. I think consolidation within the sector, consolidation by the large caps. I think the large caps will be spoiled for choice. You saw the likes of Reliance, Tata's go out there and make value buys in the last 12 to 18 months. You'll see them do more. And I think that's a good thing because capital access, as I said before, will, especially in the tech sector, come largely to the large players, given just what's happening globally in the sector in terms of correction and in India too. And I agree with Zia that also ran ideas will not make it to the IPO market. IPO market only very strong ideas with strong business models and an ability to demonstrate that they can make money and have positive EBITDAs are the ones that will get to the market. So you will see consolidation in the sector. You may see some just die out who don't have any unique idea or unique customers or any differentiation. And some you will see consolidate with their larger players, which, as I said before, is a very good outcome because for the next 5 to 10 years, we need well-capitalized companies which can penetrate the country deeper and stronger.
Right. And finally, to end the show, my favorite, topic with both of you, Zia Mody, the gender diversity in the industry. How do you view it now with the ESG thrust? Is that picking up? And I must state that when we promote this show, a lot of male bankers did reach out and said, bring gender diversity on your panel.
I hope you have not called us just because we're women, Nisha. I'm sure you have not.
Not at all, Zia, you know that.
I think that, gender diversity remains a struggle. I think that it's up to men more than women. Women are already converted to understand the value of talent, be it men or women. And there is a shortage of talent. And so I see that as a big plus for retaining women. I think the trend has to continue and grow. And I think organizations have become much more aware of the fact that retaining talent regardless of gender is imperative. And of course, women are normally smarter than men.
Okay, Zia, I think you've been very vocal on this. But I was trying to tell you that, the iBankers were saying that we should have some more men on the panel and cannot have like a fully woman. I said, why not?
You don't have to do that.
Manisha, any final thoughts? Though I would look for gender neutrality, and that's where we need to reach finally. Manisha, final thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think, look, Nisha, lots needs to be done. I think what's really good is the talent hunt that's happening, especially in the IT sector. So a lot of women are upskilling, reskilling, entering the workforce. And I'm really happy about that because, women talent is being valued. Plus, the whole work from home during COVID has made people realize that flexi hours for women, etc., can be given, can be granted, and people can work on that basis. Lot more needs to be done. But I think from the top, right, whether it's at the boards where you're seeing now more than one woman, I am on boards where you see 2 women, which is really heartening. Through organizations, you're seeing more and more organizations wanting to retain women talent. I think enough are entering. As Zia said, there are enough smart women out there who enter, but because of our patriarchal society, tend to leave. So I think a lot more is being done, but a lot more needs to be done.
All right, but I leave the onus lies now with women in top position like yourself to really bring that into the system as well. So I'll leave at that. But a big takeaway coming: cautious on the deal street, but deal street is expected to remain buoyant even in the next year. Thank you so much, Zia, as well as Manisha, for joining us. And with that, it's a wrap on Big Deal. Thanks so much.